Hi everybody, it's Christina from Card Making Magic. Today I wanted to work with the two sets that look very similar. One is the DL, the other is the Slimline, but they're not the same size. Now I also have box dies that will create cards and boxes in the same size. This is the Slimline and this is the DL. So these are the pieces that will cut the actual card base. So that's the DL and that is the Slimline. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference between the two sizes. And there they are folded up. Now you'll find the same with the die sets that are underneath. They also have different sized layers, so it's a bit like working with imperial and metric. Choose one or the other and work with the layers that are in that set. So for my colour scheme, I'm going to be using with some beautiful blue mirror card and black, which makes a real change from white and silver or white and gold. So I'll start creating the base for the Slimline first. So I've got my Slimline base card. With this outer die, I've created this in the blue. Then I've used this die to create the next layer, and the next detailed layer to create this one, and they're going to sit on the front of my card. Now once I've done that, the same with the other one as well, you can use it in portrait or in landscape, it's entirely up to you, but those are my layers for this card. So once we've got to this, we have the base card. I've glued this on top of the filigree piece, and I'm going to add that with some foam tape to my card, and then I've added foam tape to the back of this, and that's also going to sit on there. So let's get the foam tape in. We can add this to the base, and then we can add this one to the top. Now for this, I'm going to put the sentiment inside, so I'm going to stamp it in Versamark and white emboss it, and that will be the inside of the card done. So for the inside, I've cut myself another piece of black card. I've arranged the stamps on the lid that say "'Tis the season to sparkle," and I've just added a little snowflake at the top and another one at the bottom, and I'm going to pick those up and ink those up with Versamark. So don't forget to go over your card with some anti-static. I've inked that up with my embossing ink, and I'm going to stamp that down. Now I've also found in my stash some white sparkle, and it's from Wow. So this says sparkling snow. So I'm going to add this to my card and heat it up. There we are. Now I'll go away and heat that up, and then I can add that to the inside of my card. And once your embossing's cooled down, just take a soft cloth and buff up the black card, and that will take all your anti-static back off it. And now that can be added to the inside of my card with some foam tape. So with the inside done, I'm going to dress the front up now with some flowers and some leaves. The leaves are from the Rose Flourish die set, and I've just snipped into these and cut them down. I've also taken this little die and I've cut the stems from that. Now the flowers are silk, so I've got silk flowers, and these are just some little stems with pearls in them. And I've found two black ones that will also go with my display. So I'm going to have a dry run on the front, and then once I'm happy, I will add these to my card with some hot glue. So we'll add these into the back. Now obviously they won't stay in place until they're glued down. but that's roughly where I would like my flowers to be. And then these are going to go into the top and one at the bottom. So I'll go away and glue those in place, and then I'll come back to you when it's all done. So there are my flowers glued in place. Now if you have any glue strings that are left on there, all you need to do is give that a quick blast with your heat gun and they will all dissolve. Alright, it's all gone. And now all I need to do is just dot that one with some glue and add some glitter. And there we have a really beautiful card with a Christmas verse inside, and that's ready to send. So now let's move on to the DL card. So for my DL card, I've turned it into a trifold. So I've just scored this on a scoreboard at the DL mark, folded it up, and then scored it again on the DL mark and folded that back. And that gives me a lovely trifold card. Now for each of the panels I've cut a blue one, I've cut my black one, and I've cut another blue one. And I've done that for all of the panels that are in that card. So once you have these panels stuck in place, just go over them with a soft cloth, and that will remove any gluey fingerprints that you've got on that card. Now I'm just gluing these in flat because this is a triple folded card and it's going to be quite deep. So we will need to make a box for this. So once I've got to that stage now, I can add these in. Now before I add the front one in, this is going to be the front of the card, don't forget. Before I add the front one in, I'm going to wrap it with some ribbon, this piece, and tie a little bow, a little buckle on the front, and that will sit along there. So with everything now glued in place, I've taken some parchment and some black card, and I've got "Here's to you both," and that's going to sit along there. Now the glue will dry clear under there, and then from the same rose flourish die set, I've cut some leaves, and they're going to sit along here. I've cut one of them down so that I can get a better shape from it. I've cut the white twigs, and I've got some poinsettias that I'm going to add to this card. So we'll just have the dry run first, and they're going to sit along there, and I'm going to pop a white rose in there as well, just to give it an uneven number. So I'll go away and glue those in place, and then I'll come back to you when it's done. Now just to finish this off, and I don't have many of these left, so I've just dotted the little edges to the berries, and I've added in some red gemstones, and I'm only going to do it on these two. So we'll just dot the glue in, we'll add the red berries in, and we'll just finish it off with these. Now I'll finish this off, and that will be just the two opposite ones then with the red berries on it. So there we have the two finished cards. One is a slimline and the other one is a triple folded card. This is a DL size, so that will stand like this and that will stand like that. So these are the die sets that I've used. I've used the slimline for this card, and I've used the DL one for this, and I've turned this into a triple folded. The other items that I've used have been the rose flourish leaves and the sprigs. I've taken "Here's to you both" for the sentiment on this card, and I've used a stamp set to stamp the inside of this card. So they're all now ready to send for Christmas. So I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, please join me on the next one. And why not subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and then you'll always be aware when I add a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.